Get it? They actually parodied it. They actually referenced that in A White Man Can't Jump. If you seen
Oh yeah.
you remember when Woody Harrelson is trying to like he's trying to do a slam dunk, and Wesley says, "Oh yeah, bro, let me help you out."
Hey, let
And he
me help
posts
you
his
up. Like, get off me. Like, yeah.
All right. What's up, guys and girls? It's RichManZ, Richie Rich, Ricky Ricardo.
Yes, sir. Big
Back,
James.
Big James. I'm Rick James. I'm Richie Rich, bitch. Back yet again, and we are back for another discussion. And I'm joined by the one, the only GQ Jamaal from GQ TV. What's happening, bro?
Hey, thank you again for having me. It's your boy GQ Jamaal,
Yes.
aka your girlfriend's favorite YouTuber, aka Double O GQ, aka GQ Washington. I'm
GQ.
sorry, Denzel, but Scuba G.
Scooby. Oh, man, bro, you're way above like all the nicknames I coined. You know what I mean? I was gonna say Lord Richard. I think Lord instead of
Lord
Lord
Richard,
Jamar, instead of Lord
Lord
Jamar,
Jamal,
Lord Richard.
he said Lord Richard,
Lord Richard,
Richie Rich.
Richie Rich, Ricky Ricardo,
Oh,
Richie. Oh man, too many on that. But
too many
yes, man,
rich,
there's too many riches. But there's only
rich
one.
boy.
There's only one rich man. There's only one rich man,
Yeah.
and you all and
You
y'all.
gotta throw the Z at the end.
You gotta
So
throw
there's
this.
only one rich man Z.
Let
Let them know.
them know.
Talk
They
your
gotta know.
shit.
It's it, man. Get the jam. All right, man. So yes, folks. I hope everyone's doing well. In this one, me and GQ, we spoke like, off camera, and we decided in this video we want to talk about the three different like eras that me and you both grew up in. So, we're talking about like the 90s period, which is very beloved, 2000s, and then the 2010s. So we're gonna like discuss about like, the most like, what was like, in pop culture, like the music, the movies, the TV, and even the fashion sense, and hopefully by the end we'll come to a conclusion like what's is like because it's subjective at the end of the day, I can say like
it's gonna be sensitive.
you know
Like,
what I mean? It may hurt a little people, you know what I mean?
it might hurt little feathers.
We're gonna roll to it,
Buffalo feathers.
so but yeah, by the end we'll come down to like what's gonna be like our favorite eras, so
Right.
yeah, to start it off, we'll start off, where like with the birth, the origin, like for both of us, where we came from. So the 90s eras, so 90s, like for you, GQ Jamaal, like what was like the most like, let's run down what was the like most notable like events, or most notable like pop culture, things that happened
For
for
the
you then. Yeah, even though
for
there's a
the
lot of
nine
moments. Yeah.
yeah, for the 90s. I'm a true 90s head. I was born in 1990. So I'm a 90s baby. I
Yeah.
always argue with people like, oh, what year was you born? They'd be like, oh, 97, 98, 99. I'm like, you're a 2000s kid. You're not a true you're not a true 90s baby.
Yes.
Like I was born in the 90s, like that, later half of 90s, but you didn't remember like all the stuff we went through in the
Yes.
90s.
Oh
Like
man. The time
if
was
I
different then. The time
yeah,
was like, I felt it was more like gritty. You know what I mean? Like we
right.
really
Oh
had to,
yeah.
you know what I mean? The struggle was real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like, I still remember like the phone, the ones you had
I'm
to
glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that because
landline.
I was about to bring up one thing that comes to mind when I think about the 90s is the internet.
Ooh, yeah.
AOL, like dial up.
Oh my
Oh
God. But
man,
man,
that's a struggle, man. Like,
tell me about it. Tell me about it.
um,
MSN. I had MSN, like
MSN.
the MSN Messenger before, like this was creeping more to the 2000s, but yeah, I remember like the early
man,
stages.
man, we had AOL dial up. It's like we, it's like my family would get mad when we like tie up the phone lines because we're on the internet.
Yeah.
We'd be on the internet for like 2, 3 hours.
Oh my God. You know,
My people try to like call, like, man, we can't get in touch with you because we tied up that like
and that,
phone. Yeah,
yeah, these lot don't know how easy they got it now, man. I'm telling you,
right.
like the ones who've grown up, like the true millennials, like post
Yeah,
2000s, maybe like the 2010s, where internet is just like put in the Wi-Fi code, the
she said put on the
password.
Wi-Fi code.
Oh my God, it's just changing,
Man, we had that 30-day trial, like free
Oh man,
trial.
I'm telling
Oh
you,
man,
man.
that the struggle.
It was really because obviously then like YouTube wasn't a thing, and
No.
I was so into like because when I was in the UK, as I told you even before, like Fresh Prince was there, but like these shows like more what's it like Living Single, Steve Harvey show was there, but like a lot of like the other sitcoms like we didn't know about. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I was using like just the internet just to check like infos, them message boards, them boards that said like, there's another like TV sitcoms, BET, so yeah. So it's like I had to get a lot of information from like, magazines and like the early stages of the internet. You know,
Yeah, since you
you
brought up
know
BT,
Yeah.
like cable in the 90s was something special, man. Cable in the 90s was something special. I mean, like if you didn't have cable and you know somebody that has cable, you would just like ask mom, like, yo, can I come over to so and so's house? I'm like, they got cable.
Yeah.
Then you go home and I'm like, man, you don't have cable. I'm like, man, the struggle. Cable was something
It
special.
was, this is reminding me of the episode because big thing came out of the 90s. Obviously was The Simpsons. That started like the year we were born, like the 90s. I
Yeah.
remember the episode where Homer gets like illegal cable. Yeah, you remember?
Yes.
And Lisa, like the most harmony angel, she's looking at him. Like she refuses to watch it because she's sinning. So she stays
Yeah.
outside of the house and just looks at him like, you're gonna go to hell for this.
Oh man.
You remember that episode?
Yeah. I know kind of like that episode of Proud Family when they had this is before LimeWire. Have you heard of LimeWire?
Oh, I used to download my yeah, a lot. Yeah, don't cancel me for that. Please don't. I'm keeping it
That
real.
episode. I think it was the second episode of the series. Yeah.
Right.
Um Easy Jackson or whatever his name is.
Oh
Trying to
my.
like download illegal music.
Oh,
Oh man, we're at 10 minutes in this video talking about illegal cable and
leave
illegal
cable,
music.
man. I like. They're gonna be like, "What are you watching?"
I'm like, hold up, what? You're
No,
gonna
but
cancel it.
I think, but honestly, if we're being truthful, like,
Yeah,
even like, it's good we actually started on this because you gotta actually know the progression to where we are now. You know, what I mean,
right.
as I said, the way we like right now, we're doing this now. You're in the States and I'm in Canada now, and it's like we're able to connect like this. Before, this would have been non-existent. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm telling you, it was just a different era. So we had to really work and strive to like get, stuff done. You know what I mean? But that being said, like, so I said, like, what were like the because when I think of the 90s, obviously like, fashion, I think
oh yeah,
fashion, music, and definitely the movies coming, but definitely the fashion.
fashion. Oh
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
fashion.
Yeah. What was your
Like
like
in her.
yeah, in the earlys, like, I'm talking about like, house party time. What is it? Fresh Prince and Jesse Jeff, and
Mhm.
even in the morning, like what did you think of the fashion opposed to fashion during that time? Yeah.
Like early 90s. I know. what I noticed about the early 90s, like 90, 91, 92, um, it was more bright. Like
Yes.
there with the with the fashion, everyone wore like flashy clothes, like flashy button-up shirts,
Yeah.
colorful clothes,
Mm-hmm.
um, hairstyle, like in the black community, high top fade with a little design,
Yeah. They would
or
put lines on
or
that.
the dreads, high top dreads, you know.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see. They have or the overalls
The full.
with the boots.
Yeah, this is before like the onesies came in, like start and then
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, oh. So
I
that was
remember
like the early
Tretch
90s.
Tretch from Naughty by Nature. He
Mm-hmm.
used to popularize it. You know, I used to see him in a lot
Yeah.
of his live performances. He would wear the overalls with the the boots with the laces on tight. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. Sorry, man, Arsenio
The Dog
Usher.
Martens.
The Dogs
Yeah.
Warriors, yeah.
Then Fresh Prince, like Will Smith, he
Yeah.
really put the Jordans on the map because he really like wore Jordans in his in the show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In the early seasons, yeah, he was always
Yeah,
wearing the
like him and
Jordans.
Martin. Yo.
Yeah, they were really pushing it out, and that was another thing, like just like speaking of like basketball, like I became for me, like I became a Chicago Bulls fan because of like
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. It was like
Michael Jordan was the
the
face of the '90s
the
of
biggest thing.
basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was nowhere I could go, without seeing like the Air Jordan symbol,
Oh
on the
yeah.
snapbacks, on the
Hmm.
jersey. I still got my Chicago Bull jersey.
The starter hats and
Yeah.
the
Oh, honestly,
starter coats.
yes. So
Everyone has that.
he was
Everyone has that.
everywhere, man. He had that, and it's like the yeah, as you said, the Jordans. They had the pumps. You could.
Oh yeah,
You remember that?
the orange,
The
yeah,
orange
the
ones.
orange basketball
Yeah, yeah,
pump.
yeah. I was
Man,
in.
you thought you were so cool when you got the pump.
With the pumps, like, okay, like I can't I can't slam dunk this. Okay, give me a sec.
Like you walk into Foot Locker, like yo,
Okay,
mom, I got to try these
I
on.
got a pump. All right, it's a
I
bit.
got to use the pump.
It's about yay big. It's about that high. All right, give me a sec. Yeah, pump, pump, pump. Get it? They actually parodied it.
Yes.
They actually referenced that in A White Man Can't Jump. If you seen
Oh,
that, yeah,
oh yeah.
you remember when Woody Harrelson is trying to like he's trying to do a slam dunk, and Wesley says, "Oh yeah, bro, let me help you
Hey,
out," and he
let me help
pumps
you
his
up. Like,
shoes.
get off me. Like, yeah. That movie's a classic. I
Oh
love
man,
that movie.
that encapsulate the '90s. White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, man. And
Oh, for sure. One of my
man,
favorite sports movies.
yeah, yeah. I would say on the basketball like movies, like that. I really love Above the Rim because that definitely
Yes.
counts. Yeah, Above the Rim is such a classic, man. Tupac's
Go see
performance.
Above the Rim if you
Oh,
haven't seen it. Yeah.
100%, and I also love He Got Game, which came out a little later, in the night. Ray
Jesus
Allen.
Shuttleworth.
Yes, yes. They talk about Jesus Shuttleworth, man.
Shuttleworth.
He got game. He got game, man. They're gonna be talking about you. That's the guy,
Well,
yeah. Oh
there's
man.
so many basketball movies in the 90s.
I
Space
swear.
Jam.
Space Jam is a bit. I could even. It was funny because I remember before the hype for Space Jam 2 came out this year, I was like, let me go back and watch the original. Is it still good
Right.
as it was before? When I watched it when I was a kid, and I was like, it's
Yeah.
still slamming. Like, no pun intended, like slam dunk, but like it's still it's still a slamming. Basketball. Maybe with the comedic, of the Looney Tunes being in there. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. For sure.
honestly, but yeah, but as you said, like, all right, so like we talked a bit about fashion and we talked about like faces of the night. So you got Michael Jordan, of course, he was everywhere, and then like probably
Everywhere.
in the sports realm, he was on the top. I think, like,
Mm-hmm.
without a doubt. I think close would have to be. I'm trying to say Mike Tyson, of
In the
course,
sports.
in
Yeah.
sports, but I know in the '90s, like Tyson had like a few
So,
hiccups,
yeah.
keeping
I
it
love that
real.
part.
You know what I mean? Honestly, like there's
Hey, you have to
yeah,
throw Shaq in there.
Shaquille O'Neal, he was
Yeah.
coming in like in the latest and that. And yeah, I think who else? Like sports stars. We talked about briefly about, do you remember Big Event? Do you remember the OJ Simpson the
Yeah.
Bronco chase, So if no one has seen this, you can watch this on YouTube. This was 2 years after the Rodney King beatings in 1994, and in California was already muy caliente. It was already a hot climate because of race wars and that.
Yeah.
So OJ Simpson, who was like big time football star, huge NFL star, but like let's say like the Cam Newton of like the 70s, you know what I mean? He was at that, So, I will always remember that because I remember my dad had the VHS. He recorded it when he was on the race. So it's crazy. It's like a scene from the movie, like when you see him, like he's on the freeway and all the police cars are chasing him, squad cars, after he murdered his wife, but he became, even though he was a retired athlete, he became like a big figure, even more like publicized during, wouldn't you say?
Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was making jokes about
Yes.
OJ Simpson, him throwing the glove, like the glove. Yeah.
What he goes to, it's like that. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Yeah.
Oh man.
I remember the line, man. Oh man, it was fascinating. But with OJ, so in sports, and so like with like music, because music was a very like, in the 90s, it was a very
it's a very sensitive topic when it comes to music in the 90s.
In the 90s, it
was so groundbreaking, gritty, gutter.
I swear. Revolutionary, I would say. Yeah. 100%.
There was a lot like more, what's the word I'm looking for? Variety.
That's it.
Because of course you had your one hit wonders, you had your fun, you had your fun type of music, you had storytelling, you had especially R&B in the 90s.
Yeah. The slow jams.
R&B.
Do you remember like slow jam? Like what's it? My favorite one was like Babyface, Keith Sweat.
Oh, Keith Sweat.
I love Keith Sweat.
I
love Keith
Sweat.
You
can still play Nobody.
I was gonna say that. Nobody.
Nobody. You can still play that song. Usher dominated the 90s.
Usher, Call Me the Mac. His first album, I still got his the MP3 of his first album, Usher, Call Me the Mac. I love the album, man. Usher was
R&B was dominated the 90s, and not only that, like bands, like boy bands, girl bands, they dominated the 90s, early 2000s. Early 2000s.
Yeah, there was a thing with the boy bands, it's, as you said, it was both genders. You had like don't hate me for saying this, but you had the Spice, like when I was back in the UK, even my boy knows about this, like the Spice Girls were like, they were the super stars, you know what I mean?
Was there a movie?
Yeah, they had a movie. They had a video game. They had a video game. They had a video game too. Spice Girls were everywhere. And this is like 95 to 1997. I remember that.
Yeah, they were huge.
Yeah. They were huge. In the boys, I remember the Backstreet Boys, which I can't stand. Like I can't stand them.
You about to have some unpopular opinions.
Because man, they had one good song I like, but that was it. But like no,
you had your NSYNC,
Blackstreet, Color Me Bad. I remember Color Me Bad.
You
remember Color Me
Bad? Yes.
They were cool. I loved Color Me Bad. In Vogue for the girls.
Vogue. One of the top 5 like best groups.
GQ. They did the intro for Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
And they were the episode of the Wayans Brothers.
Yes.
Marlon was trying to hook up with the lead singer.
Oh my god. Marlon was I've just been watching a couple of episodes of the Wayans Brothers. I'm strongly considering doing a review of that, later. But I'm gonna watch it again.
If you haven't watched the Wayans Brothers, people, my YouTube people, go watch go watch the Wayne Brothers. Go watch. I
100%.
would recommend you to watch season 3 to the
Yes.
last season.
Yeah.
Watch like the second half of season 2. This is coming from a true Wayne Brothers fan.
Yeah.
But
Huge
yeah,
favorite. And speaking of like, all right, now this definitely goes up. Speaking of like the Wayans brothers, Wayans
oh, they
brothers,
dominate.
we got like starting off like with Living Color,
Yes.
then as the sitcom you just mentioned, Wayans brothers sitcom, which ran like early mid 90s to the late 90s, you
Hey,
had yeah,
true fact about Living Color. So they had a Super Bowl halftime special back in
right.
'92. Fast forward a year later. Oh, if you notice all this like the halftime special, they have like big stars.
Yeah,
Like before Living Color had that special, they didn't have any like musical guests for the
right,
Super Bowl. So
right.
Living Color started
Yeah,
that trend.
they hosted the whole halftime,
Yeah.
Super Bowl event.
So for the
Yes,
people that didn't know,
it's such a big deal, what I mean, to get that, because yeah, anytime you see Super Bowl, they got like, Jennifer Lopez or like no for one Beyonce,
yeah,
Bruno Mars, like they need stars to attract it, but in Living Colors there, but like yeah, Wayne Brothers, they win that. They had the sitcom, they had Don't Be a Menace, which I think is very
yeah.
underrated. If you go back and watch it now,
This
you
is
can.
the G.
This is the
This is
G.
the
This is the G.
A.
Nah,
This is
bro.
the A.
Oh man, my favorite part in Don't Be a Menace is when Bernie Mac, God rest for his soul, Bernie Mac's cameo when he basically he does an imitation of the racist cop in Boys in the Hood. It's like, you think you know?
He said, "I hate my guns.
I
I
hate
hate the back of Forrest Whitaker's
neck.
neck."
Oh.
Oh
He
man.
said, I hate black
Oh.
pepper. I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips, and I also hate Wesley Snipes' black ass.
Oh gosh, I'm about to cry.
It's too
Oh,
much. It's too much.
oh
It's
that's too
legendary.
much.
It makes me warm. I'm feeling warm here. I'm feeling warm here. Classic.
Oh
I'm telling you.
yeah.
But you see what I mean, like, bro, like GQ, like those like as I said, like those movies, like with the Wayne brothers,
Mhm.
even another movie that's very kind of similar, like I always like Booty Call with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson. Like I'm probably one of the few people who still thinks that's a legendary movie. But those movies, they had like a certain kind of the word like flavor.
Yeah,
Don't you
and
feel it? Yeah.
yeah, they
You know?
were raw and uncut.
Raw.
That's what I appreciate about the '90s, man. They
Yeah.
did not care. They did not care,
Yeah.
and it, they weren't so PC.
Exactly. It felt like every comedian in the 90s, So if we
Hmm.
go like onto comedy, because we like talked about Booty Call, that starts like Jamie Foxx, again, big up and coming star. He was in Living Color as well
Yeah,
in the later seasons, and Tommy Davidson. But these are when they were, if they were on Def Comedy Jam or they were doing their own specials, it's like they were just unleashed, no filter.
yeah,
You know what I'm
no
saying?
filter at all.
And Robin Harris, great comedian who was taken from us too soon, who appeared in
Oh,
House
too
Party.
soon, man.
Ooh, it's legendary, man. Remember the scene in the House Party where he just comes in and he does his own
You just roast everybody.
roast everyone
He said, "What's your
differently.
name?"
Yeah,
He said, "What's your name?" Clinton. Clinton
Clint,
what?
good
Clinton
one.
next.
Clint,
Well,
that's how.
go in the kitchen, give me a beanpot in a pork chop. Oh man,
Oh
rest in
my,
peace, Robin
yeah.
Harris.
On a
Hey,
shout
you know
out,
what,
man.
Richmond? And
Yeah.
you know who else like dominate the '90s? I have to give my props to
Wait.
Adam Sandler.
All right. Adam Sandler.
Adam's
I'm all right. No,
yeah.
you talk. I'm gonna tell you my
Okay,
story on
Adam
Adam.
Sandler. Okay, Adam Sandler. He has some hit and misses,
Yeah.
but I love my favorite movie from Adam Sandler is Big Daddy.
When he's
Yeah,
a
that
little
movie
kid.
is his best. It's his best movie I've
Yeah.
ever seen. But yeah, but yeah, Adam Sandler definitely dominated the '90s.
Yeah. I would say it was different for me with Adam Sandler. Like the first movie I was introduced to him was Happy Gilmore. The golf movie. That was the first one with Carl Weathers, and I was just like, this guy's a nut, man. Like, what? So, like, but like I watched Adam Sandler appeared a few episodes in the Cosby Show. He was
Right.
Theo's
Yeah,
friend.
I
Yeah,
forgot he was on
no one knows that.
the Cosby Show.
Yeah,
And I forgot Cockroach.
Cockroach.
Carl, Carl Anthony Payne was on there. I forgot.
So like, all right, so like Adam Sandler, like he was someone like I had to. It was when I watched these later films. It's like it was more in the 2000s. I got it, but like at least for comedic wise, like who really, really blew for me at least, it was Jim Carrey. Like,
yes,
bro, there was a time like I used to watch like his movies and I would just copy. When he used to talk with his like ass, like in Ace Ventura, I used to do that shit. Yeah, it was crazy.
Jim Carrey was he's a special kind of comedian.
Yeah,
because I love his characters in Living Color. Like when he did Vanilla Ice, that was like gold.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice, man. That impression of him on the show. I can't rap. Man, stop and listen. Who's the friend? Oh my
God. I thought the world got stabbed in the butt, man. But it was just a toilet paper cut.
Oh my
Jim
God.
Carrey, man.
Jim Carrey was it was those three films that blew up in 1994. He had the mask, which I love to this day. I can always
stand out film
100, and Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and he had Dumb and Dumber, and he played the Riddler in the Batman film, so like Jim Carrey was like especially coming from Living Color, he was on the TV series, then he blew like straight after. He blew after Living Color. I was like, amazing, man. But definitely, but what we just touched on was he talked about as the 90s had such big stars as we talked, Jim Carrey, Michael Jordan, the music groups and that. What did you think of some of like the ones who were like, you could say like they were misses? Like, what are your honest thoughts on like Vanilla Ice and like MC Hammer?
What's my honest opinion?
Because they were truly like the two, as much as like Tupac and like, Big Daddy Kane, Notorious B.I.G., they were huge, but like MC Hammer and
one hit.
Yeah, MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, they had those one-hit wonders that touched the whole world. Even something that Tupac and the biggest like rappers weren't necessarily able to do. So like, what did you think of like, if you say like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, as one-hit wonders?
Well, for MC Hammer, I've heard stories where Hammer don't play. Like,
yes,
he doesn't play just because like Hammer was nothing to play with. Like, don't get him fooled by the you can't touch this and too legit to quit.
Gaining momentum. Hammer
was about that life.
Yeah. I love MC. But yes,
for Vanilla Ice, I really don't have anything to say about Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice are just
it is what it is.
He came and went.
He came and went. His career was really it was over before he even started, with him, as big as he went, it's like they came for him, that's why I mentioned them. They were very similar because like MC Hammer had the thing of he got so big, but then he became bankrupt, because he wasn't really handling his money. And it's like I remember he changed his style. He had one album where he went gangster. He became like a gangster. You remember that? Oh, the funky headhunter. Yeah.
Yeah. but while I can appreciate the one hit wonders of the 90s, you can still play it.
Yeah.
They aged well, the songs, compared to like the 2000s one hit wonders.
All right, we're gonna go into that. We're gonna go into 2000s,
But, like Crisscross, you could still play Jump at like sporting events.
Yeah,
They had a few. They had a few songs after Jump.
Yeah, it was funny. Anytime, like, because one of the jobs I was working before the pandemic, I was like teaching classes, like in the gyms, you know.
Yeah.
So what always on the tracks was always crisscross jump to get them through the
Mhm.
warm up, you know. So it still can be like a turn up tune, like,
Mhm.
you know, you can go out and still listen to, you know, crisscross, Ice Ice
You could still
Baby, or like
jump around.
can't touch this,
Can't
you
touch
know,
this.
you know what I mean, you
What?
know. Trying to think of
Yeah.
other ones, you know what I mean? But like there was a lot
Oh,
of one.
Baby got back.
Baby got back.
Sir Mix a Lot. Hey, he's
Oh
still making money. Hey, he's still making money off that song.
yes, he's got the
Yeah.
residual. He got the residuals.
Yeah.
He got the
Hey,
residuals.
he was
Yeah,
smart about. He was
he knew.
smart.
Businessman. He was a
Yo.
businessman before, you know. But yeah. But there was just things. So like with that, with the 90s, let's shift on to the 2000s. And same again. What did you think was the biggest change from the 90s moving on to the 2000s? Most significant change.
2000s.
Mm.
It wasn't really PC. It wasn't really PC in the 2000s. That they started like tackling that down like in the late 2000s,
Yeah,
in the 2010s. You still have freedom to say or do what you want.
exactly. Mm.
Um, Music, as far as music, you still, yeah, music changed over the,
Mm.
um, who really, who really dominated the music world? Like 50 Cent. 50 Cent
He was the
dominated
one.
the
He
early
was the one
2000s.
I was gonna
Yeah,
mention. Yeah.
because
Ooh.
because like 2002, 2003, that was a year of 50 Cent and G Unit. Like 50 Cent, he like ruined Ja Rule's career,
Yeah.
but I
Take.
think Ja Rule ruined his own career kind of.
Yeah.
But 50 Cent, yeah, everywhere you go, like in the club, you can still play in the
In
club.
the club now.
In
Yeah.
the club, when In the
Yeah.
Club dropped,
Yeah.
it was like everywhere.
Yeah. And the whole album's good. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
I was listening to that on my way to where I'm now in Montreal. It's still got like some banging tracks, man. You know,
yeah,
you can listen to
yeah.
this
Like
game.
yep, couple days after that, because I never heard his second album in entirely, like the Massacre, the one that had like Candy Shop, which I think that's 50 Cent's worst single ever.
Yes.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that song with a passion.
Oh
I
man.
hated it when I was a kid, and I
And
still hate it as an adult. But
that vi-
I listened to that entire
I just
album
for the
almost
video. I would just
like
watch it for the video, seeing all these fly honeys. That's it.
yeah.
I'm just keeping it real.
I'm like, man, there's only like 2, 3 good songs off the album, but
Yeah.
man, but Get Rich or Die Trying was probably like the best album of the 2000s.
Yeah, and he followed it up
Then you
with the
had,
movie. He had the movie as
oh
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
then Eminem took over the 2000s.
Well, that was me. Like I still probably to this day like probably Eminem and Rakim. They're still my like favorite like rappers because I of like rap stars. I'm still a fan of like the lyrical ones. You know, the
Yeah,
ones who can just think of like freestyle as we do, like as
yeah,
we, you know, we love to do freestyle. So like Eminem and Rakim were like always been my favorites, and
oh yeah,
seeing Eminem like really like, you know, take over the 2000s. You know what I mean? Real Slim Shady. He had the Eminem show. You know, he had 8 Mile. You know,
oh 8 Mile,
I love 8
8 Mile.
Mile.
I love 8 Mile.
Classic. You see the beginnings of Marshall Mathers, aka Slim Shady.
Hope there goes gravity.
Yes.
Back to reality. Hope there goes gravity.
Yeah. Oh man, D12.
That's
Give a shout out to D12. You know, because
D12. These chicks don't even know the
my
name
name
of
of
my
my
band.
band. What? And they all know me like they want to hold hands. My band.
My band, my band, my band.
Man. bro. There was a time on MTV. It was like Eminem was like at least on each like loop, because they used to loop like the music videos. Like anytime I used to come, like it was Eminem.
Speaking of videos in the I'm sorry to go back to the 90s.
Yeah,
videos was something like special in the 90s.
Yeah.
In the 2000s, like
it felt like you were watching a movie. You know what I
right.
mean? Like one that is, I'm so glad you said that, GQ. Like the one I always remember is that, I think, to be honest, I may be biased saying it because I am a fan, but like the Michael Jackson "Remember the Time" video. Yeah. Eddie Murphy, Iman, Magic Johnson. He plays Debo from Friday, Tiny Lister. Rest in peace. I think he even appears in this as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just the way it sets up before you actually get to where Michael Jackson's doing, all the moves and that. It's like a movie.
Right. Yeah. Like Tupac's California Love felt like a movie.
I'm gonna give a clap for that, man. Just give a clap for
Chris
California
Tucker was in
Love.
there. Yeah.
I'm with Tupac, man.
There was so many great music videos in that time, man. Yes. Like I feel like nobody's creative anymore.
Yeah, I swear. It's like as you said, like especially in the 90s, everyone was their own thing. You know what I mean? I remember like I watched an interview with Christopher Kid from Kid and Play.
Yeah.
Christopher Kid Reed. He said you could have like a Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
You could have a Kid and Play. Then you could have like a Brand Nubian. And all of those bands were different.
Even sound wise too. Like there you can have Tribe Called Quest. You can have a Tupac record. You can have a Biggie record. You can have you can have your one-hit wonder.
Coolio. He's another one.
Coolio.
Yeah, another one I even forgot about. Just like Gangsta Paradise. So it's like every genre. And let me ask you, GQ, when did you think that changed? Do you think it was in the like the 2000s, or was it the 2010s, where it became like, if something is hot, everyone has to be the same? Like, say if Drake makes the next like Hotline Bling, what I mean? And like everyone just imitates it. Where did you think like that changed, where everyone wanted to just be the same? You know what I mean?
Late 2000s, like late 2000s in 2010. That's when it started, because I feel like nobody is original anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to imitate this person or bite everyone's style.
Yeah.
Nobody's original.
Exactly.
That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, it's funny you mention that, because that was pretty much the dawn of social media, right? Like late 2000s.
Not even music, like shows.
Exactly.
People always say,
we're talking the whole thing. Like, all right, so that this makes it definitely the time to go on. So 2000s definitely talked about the music. If we mention like sports, who do you think was the face of sports in the 2000s?
You had Kobe Bryant.
Oh, God,
and LeBron. You was either Team Kobe or Team LeBron.
Team LeBron, yes.
Yeah, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. It was either. You can even throw Allen Iverson in the 2000s.
Unless you ain't talking about practice. At least
practice.
As long as you ain't talking about practice, we ain't even talking about the game. We talking about practice.
About practice.
GQ. This isn't even the main show. We're talking about practice.
Practice. Iverson dominated the early 2000s.
Yes.
Like everyone wanted cornrows.
Yes.
Everybody wanted to wear baggy clothes because of Iverson.
Because of Iverson. He was, and that's why I say the impact of like basketball, the fashion culture, it went onto the streets, for like, the ones in the States. Back when I was in UK, like, because we were watching like soccer, so like football. So like one of like the biggest stars, like especially in the 2000s, like David Beckham who you know.
Yes,
He
yes,
was, man, he was everywhere. Like as big as like the
yeah,
Spice Girls was, David Beckham, because they had their like World Cup tournament, you know,
yeah.
he was like the face, you know, he was everywhere. You see him in posters, commercials, he would have guest
Now you
spots
got
in
the
TV.
now you
Yeah,
got the soccer games.
you got the
Like,
soccer games, yeah, with his
yeah,
face. He had his movie Bended Like Beckham, you know, but like, yeah, that
mhm.
2000s, man, like he wasn't even the best player. That's the funny thing about it. He was not. He was nowhere near. He was like 150 of the best soccer players at the time. But just like the look, you know, of
Yeah,
who he was everywhere, you know. And even though I would even say like because if we're talking about like again like sports, and you would definitely go inside there. I would say even The Rock, Dwayne
yes. I
Johnson.
was about to say that in John
Yes,
Cena.
Dwayne
John Cena.
Johnson. Who
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson, because
Oh
he
yeah.
came
He
out
had a
just before. He was the shit. Like, you know, SmackDown was everywhere. The
yeah.
SmackDown, Lady
SmackDown,
SmackDown,
shut your mouth.
SmackDown, shut your mouth. Just bring it. Know your role and shut your mouth. You know, and he was in. Yeah, I remember he transitioned. He was the first one to really transition to Hollywood, you
Yeah.
know, from wrestling, you know, because other guys
The
did it like,
rundown.
yeah, the rundown. I love the rundown,
I
you
love the
know.
rundown.
I
I
love,
love Gridiron
I
Gang.
love. Oh, that's it with
Gridiron Gang is another underrated movie.
yeah, with Exhibit, Exhibit, you know,
It's time to pit my ride.
Pimp My Ride. That was a huge thing, bro. Into
Yeah.
2000s, Pimp My Ride on MTV.
Yes.
You know that
Exhibit.
Exhibit, like,
He was
oh
getting
man,
so much slack
yeah.
because the cars weren't working. I'm like, yo, Exhibit was the host of the show. He had nothing to do of why your car's like broke down. Like you gotta like take it
Bro,
up with the people at
you
West Coast
know,
Customs.
West Coast. You know the funny thing about they said the same thing. Another show that was on the MTV at the time was MTV Cribs. Do you remember that?
Yes, I
You
love MTV
remember?
Cribs, man.
They a lot of that. I think it was either Method Man or either Redman. They did an episode on him, and he even said after that wasn't even his crib. They just put
Yeah,
it on the
Redman.
video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the good shows that came on MTV during the 2000s?
Ooh, let's
Like
go.
Meet the Band. Was it Meet the Band?
Meet the Bear. You watched that? Yeah. Oh
Oh
my
man.
God. Meet the Parent. I would, man. I was watching Pimp My Ride was there. I was watching Celebrity Deathmatch. This was like an anime, like, man,
Yes.
very good. Go back and watch it now. You see how much stars, like, and I'm talking real stars, not this like, I'm not being rude, but like, you know, social media stars to like stars. It's a different
Yes.
world.
Like
You know,
A-listers.
A-list stars, you know,
Yeah,
and
A-list.
telling you, it was just I used to love like Celebrity Deathmatch, Pimp My Ride. There was
The
a
old Wildin' Out.
yes, Nick Cannon. All right, all right. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be 100
Yes.
because I actually know a few dudes like Nick Cannon who kind of think like, yeah, you know, I'm the best rapper, da 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 da. You know, I'm all that. What are your honest thoughts about Nick Cannon? Because Nick Cannon, truth be told, like in the 2000s, he did blow up. You know, he had his
Yeah.
movies, he had his music, he was hosting, and you know, he had Wild 'N Out, which was getting
Yeah.
big time guests. So, what did you think about like, you know, what are your
What I think
thoughts?
about Nick Cannon. What I think about Nick Cannon. What do
Truthfully,
I think about Nick Cannon?
what do you think about Nick Cannon? Drum roll,
All
please.
right. So Nick Cannon. My honest opinion about Nick Cannon. I think he's a good businessman.
Yeah.
Comedian wise, he's he's all right. He's okay. He's tolerable.
He's not the worst. He's not the best. You know, in
Yes,
between.
I love Drumline. I love Drumline. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like, throw, trash the guy's name,
Yeah.
I love Drumline. What's the other one that came after that? Love No Consequence.
Yes, I watched that with
It
Christine.
was
It was with Christina Milan. I remember.
yeah,
Yeah, they were dating.
it's it's okay. It's
It's
okay.
high, it's
It's
high.
alright.
It's high, you
It's
know, just
alright. I just watch it because of Christina Milian.
that's it. Just keeping it real,
Bro,
keeping it real,
keep
you
it
know what I mean?
real,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
That's the only movies I probably know. But
Yeah.
the other movie he had, Undercover, uh,
When he's the spy,
under
is it the spy like he's the not the spy, like he's
a
undercover.
freshman.
The
Yeah,
yes, yes.
I hate that movie. I hated that movie. I hated that movie.
Yeah.
Like, man, I can't believe I bought that on DVD. That
Oh my
movie
god.
was so trash.
All right, man.
Uh,
But like, yeah, I mean, I'm in the same like hat as you with Nick Cannon. I think business wise, he's really I think his business thing's called incredible, like
yeah,
Nick Incredible. But he's a business wise,
yeah,
he's hustling on like the highest end. You know what I mean? And it was funny, like it was in While and Out I was introduced to, like, you know, Ludacris, Kanye
yeah,
West, Cat
yeah,
Williams, you know,
yeah.
who were really dominant in the
Oh
2000,
yeah.
you know what I mean, like especially like Mr. Ye. Before Kanye Kardashian came out, there was a Kanye West.
Thank God, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh man,
man. Can we talk about Kanye West since you brought him up?
bro, it's man.
Man, what
I
do you think
had.
about Kanye West?
All right, man. I One of like the first like rap CDs I got was Game, Doctor's Advocate, and I had the College Dropout.
Yeah,
I had, and I thought it was the best shit I've ever heard. You know, I was like Kanye West, like he's such a visionary. You
right.
know what I mean? When he does through his music, it's like he's just got
Yeah,
a different mind, very
yeah. He was
unique to the
so original.
exactly. You know, so I was a huge fan. It was just where we're gonna go on because we're definitely gonna have to talk about, you know, them, the 2010s. You know what I mean? It's like there was a time he was focused on more like just being the best music. You know, he wanted to be the
Right.
biggest, best rapper. Then I think later on he changed to being like I am a god. You know, he's yeah,
He thinks
that's
like Steve Jobs. He thinks he's Walt
yeah,
Disney.
Walt
He thinks he's
Disney, you know, Gandhi, you know, Martin Luther King, you know, I don't
Malcolm
know,
X.
Malcolm X. It's just
like, fam, you're Kanye West.
yes, it, you know, just some
You're Kanye West. Like,
you that broke kid
take it
from
down a notch.
Chicago. That's it. You that broke kid
Take
from
it down.
Chicago.
Take it down a notch. I'm like, yeah. Like for me, I love when Kanye first came out. I loved his production. I loved his
Yeah,
songs. My favorite album from him was The
yeah.
Graduation.
Graduation. Whoo,
Yeah,
slamming.
Graduation. You still play Good Life.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't tell me
yeah.
nothing. But yeah, I think because his mom died after um 808 to Heartbreak, that's probably
Yeah,
why he
he
changed.
changed, you know. Yeah,
And the
because
music industry really got to him.
I think so, you know, because they were saying like he
And
was bipolar, you know what I mean?
yeah,
He had suffered from mental health, you know, and
yeah,
you know, he was just involved in it's funny because I think it made him more if he wanted to be more famous, I think he accomplished it. You know, because he was already Kanye West and he became like
right.
Kanye of like, you know, he's in the
Yeah.
White House now, you know, he's like talking to like the president and that, you know, and like he had these controversies, you know, with like I remember in the MTV awards, you know, that all right, you know, if I scale back, we talked about like, you know, 2000s, like MTV awards, like that was a
Hmm.
big thing. Like we used to watch back in, you know, UK.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100, the music awards and then the movie awards, you know, I used to like couldn't wait to go watch it.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure. Yeah.
yeah, you know, and that time Kanye went and he took the award
Took
from
the
Taylor Swift. He said, you know, Taylor, I'm really happy about this, you know, but you know what? Beyonce had the best record of all time. Of all time.
man.
What a jerk.
I remember that. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, those awards, yo, speaking of awards, yeah, award shows used to take over the 2000s.
Oh yeah, they were such a big deal. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
BET Awards, MTV
MT
Awards.
Awards and that, you know, they had like the whole skits as well, you know, who was hosting.
Right.
They would do like parodies of like the movies. Like I remember when the Spider-Man first came out, you know, Spider-Man, the first one, Tobey Maguire, is such a
Yeah.
big deal. And it's like they incorporated it to the MTV Movie Awards. So they were making fun of the movie, and it was really spectacle, you know, watching
Yeah.
those
Oh
things.
yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
yeah, with like so with the 2000s, you know, we talked about fashion music, you know, and the stars, you know, we now move on to pretty much the era we are in now. You
Right.
know, you could say the only thing that's changed is we gotta wear masks now, you know, but like yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But we're talking now like from 2010 to really 2020, like, you know, that
The
decade, you know,
digital
the
era.
digital era, the reality era,
Yeah.
social media. Yeah, the social media and digital era. So what do you think, like, so we've already talked 90s, 2000s, and now the 2010s. What do you think was like you know, the biggest thing now, you know, of this era?
But yeah,
I know.
it's social media,
Yeah,
man.
taking over. Did you
Every,
ever think it would go this far? Like to
no, man.
I
I was
never.
still thinking about the times that I had a MySpace page.
Yeah, I came
Now,
onto
then I had a
it.
Facebook, and now you can just create videos with cell phone.
Cell phones now, man.
With
Whew.
like,
Yeah,
you can just post a video within seconds.
and it's already up for the
You
whole
get,
world to see. You
it's
know.
like
Yeah.
it's like you don't need to buy a fancy camera
Yeah.
to make music videos. Like you can just
Exactly.
make a music video off your phone.
Phone. Yeah.
Like
You know, it's like
you don't need record labels
yeah.
anymore. You can
Exactly. Yeah.
record off your phone.
I mean, you know, that's where this is the thing. In my opinion, there is it's kind of like a like 50. It's like it has its pros and its cons. You know,
Right.
because I know for a fact there was so many talented like stars in the 90s and 2000s who probably never
Yeah.
got shown or made a breakthrough because they were trying to
Hmm.
go through the corporate, you know,
Right.
system to get a record deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like I know there's a lot of like hidden gems who like, you know, never made it. You know, I mean a good one is like if you've seen like I don't know if you ever seen the Hustle and Flow with Terrence Howard.
Yes. Yes.
See the struggle. You see the struggle. He was trying to just give his like a mixtape.
Yeah.
To Luda and that, you know.
Oh man, Ludo was a jerk in
He
that.
was an
Oh man,
he was an
he
a
was an
hole.
ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was an ass in that movie.
you know
Oh
it's
like
funny.
man, hey, yo, Skinny Black, what you do with my tapes?
Yeah. And he just beat he gave him the hands, you know.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like those times it felt like it was you had to either know someone or you had to be in the right place, right time to like,
Hmm.
you know, break through. You know, 50 Cent got over because, you know, he knew Eminem. You know, he knew
Yeah.
Eminem. They end up getting introduced to Dr. Dre. So it's
Yeah.
like it was who you know rather than what you knew.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like
Exactly. Exactly.
that's definitely the pros that you don't have to wait for anyone to become, you know, like a somebody, you know, you can do it
Hmm.
yourself, you know. But I'd
Hmm.
say the cons of like the 2010s era to now where we are now is that I think everyone thinks they can be like, you know,
Yes.
you know,
Everyone thinks they have a voice.
yes. And that's where the pandemonium comes from. You know, you got like
Yes.
you know what I mean, you got people who you know, like if I even talk about like, because we didn't, you know, I definitely think like Chappelle is someone
Hmm.
definitely we have to. We were even gonna do like a discussion about just Chappelle. You know, by if you mention him, like what he's going through now with like, you know, this craziness just over his like special, you know, his stand up special. It's nuts. And Chappelle's been the same even when he was on Chappelle's show.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
I don't
so
know why everyone's
yeah,
like tripping about it.
I'm
Kind of like going back with In Living Color when they showed Men on Film.
yeah,
I'm like, these guys did numerous Men on Film sketches,
yeah. Now,
and
but
why is it a
now
problem now? Yeah,
exactly. Trust
and it's
me.
been on syndication.
Yeah. They will still put these shows like on BET as Chappelle show. It's not edited. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that was 2003, but like now everyone thinks they're, because they have this amount of
Cancel
followers,
culture.
that's one thing I definitely hate about this era,
Right.
man. It's like I feel like
It's like
everyone's on eggshells. You know that expression,
mm-hmm.
like, it's like you're
Walking
scared
on
to,
eggshells.
yes. Like you're scared to say something because you're worried that they're just gonna take everything away from you. It's complete bull, man.
It's like
But
you can't cancel. Like you can't cancel me.
yeah, you ain't
Yeah,
cancel, you ain't
just have
canceling.
to have that. You can't have that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just gotta have that mentality.
yeah, honestly,
Mentality.
yeah.
Yeah, like you can't cancel
You
me.
have to, because I think if you go down that route, you will be trying to make everyone happy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the role for. I'm pretty sure when Chappelle came up, his goal wasn't to make everyone laugh. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, some people get these jokes and some people they're not.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you, yeah, and that's the whole thing, you know what I mean? But the idea that you have to kind of make everyone like satisfied, and you can't ruffle any feathers, as we said,
Right.
it's completely nonsense, if you ask me. You know what I mean? But with that being said, like I feel like if we talk about like breakouts, from 2010s, I think definitely like Kevin Hart, I'm gonna ask your thoughts on like Kevin Hart, but like Kevin Hart, we first saw him in Soul Plane in
Soul
2000.
Plane and Paper Soldiers.
Soul Plane, yeah. He had his own sitcom.
Oh,
Some people don't know Kevin Hart had a sitcom with
I
Faith.
seen that on YouTube.
Yeah, he's there.
All it.
I think he only lasted 5 episodes. I'm joking.
Then he hosted BT Comic View.
Yes,
I used to see him on
he
that.
was there. He was on Def Comedy Jam. They made a revamp of Def Comedy Jam. He had a few. He was there with D.L. Hewley and that, but he really exploded, man. Like I
It's
never
stand
saw
up.
it
It's a
coming.
stand up.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
My
He,
first time. My first time seeing Kevin Hart, like first time actually liking Kevin Hart was his stand up. Seriously funny. I think
Seriously
when
funny.
he
Yeah, I've seen
yeah
that on
seriously
Netflix. Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah that I bought a DVD at Walmart. It was $5. I'm like, let
Right.
me check this out. It was that joke where he was like, my mama told me to tell you to mind your damn motherfucking business, bitch. That's when I fell in love with Kevin Hart.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. As we were saying, like there was varieties. I think with Kevin Hart, what's good is he's his own thing. Like there's only one Kevin Hart. It's not like he's not like an imitation of Eddie Murphy or like Martin Lawrence or Chris Tucker. He's his own.
Right.
And I feel it's right timing. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
he's incorporated. He's one of the few comedians who really incorporate the whole social media.
Yep.
Well, he did it well. Like he was good at promoting his, like as you said, like the special seriously funny. He had ways of
Yeah.
promoting it on Facebook, Instagram, to really build up his audience and like following.
Then he took off after Laugh at My Pain. I
Yeah.
think that's when he really like
Yeah.
shot up to like mainstream.
Skyrocketed,
Yeah.
and it's he really made it. But like with Kevin Hart, I think with difference like to other comedians who came before. So if you look at like way back, you talk about Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, of course, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock. I would definitely put Chris Rock there. I think
Yeah.
Kevin Hart was he probably the one who got always the most like haters, you know. Yes, so yeah, and from comedians, we're not talking about like simple dudes who just like 4 a.m.
Right.
typing on these like you suck, not the keyboard warriors. No, we're talking about comedians like Mike Epps and Cat Williams. They can't stand Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about his personal life. I think
Nah, I'm
he
not gonna
put
mention
himself
that.
in that
Yeah.
in that in that position, but we're not going to talk about
We're
that.
not
But
gonna.
yeah, like my honest opinion about Kevin Hart, I think some he has hit and miss movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's a solid comedian. He's solid.
Yeah,
He's solid.
yeah. Like I'm not gonna say like Ride Along is my favorite comedic movie. I'm gonna keep it real, you know, like I'm not gonna say that at all. But I can watch his stand up. Like I loved he had the reality Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Oh, I love
I
it.
love watching that. Yeah,
Love it. You
yeah.
trying to get that Paula Page?
Yes. I thought
It's
that
like you
was
acting like a Mitch.
so you like at a Mitch, you know. I love that show. And you know, it was for the time, you know, because reality television has gone from zilch to like 100. You know, the
Yeah.
amount of like we talked about this, you know, we said about like
Yeah.
the big you know, black actresses, you know, from like the 90s and 2000s, you know, they're giving up like acting to now just act ratchet on
Right.
these like, you know,
It's sad.
you understand? Real Housewives of
Yeah.
Atlanta, you know,
Loving hip hop.
Basketball Wives, you know, all of that, you know, and it's a shame, you know, because you see some like I saw Kenya Moore, Miss USA,
Yeah. Kenya.
she's
Yeah.
on that acting like a Mitch, you know. I'll just
Oh man. Acting like a Mitch.
she's like a witch. She's on that, and it's like, man, but like this ultimately, like the reality, like this popularity, it all came real birthly to the Kardashians, who basically,
Yeah.
you know, became like this phenomenal thing, like from the 2010s, you could say, you know, after Kim and Ray J were a thing, you know, and they did a few things with a tripod at dark with night on, you know. Just now, I'm gonna keep this like PG as I can.
He said tripod with the
Yeah,
lights on.
the link won't be in the description, folks.
Hey,
I'm
hold on.
sorry, I will not
He
put
said
the
a
link in the
tripod.
description.
Lights on. Ray J played One Wish.
One.
I swear this part should be the intro.
It should have been on the intro. I'm gonna put like an extract of this bit. It has to be there. That would have been jokes.
Oh man.
Oh my god, Ray J, man.
He played One Wish and
One
Sexy
Wish.
Cannot,
Yeah.
and their career took off.
Yeah, it blew up from that one video. And you have to understand with like the tapes, you know, like adult explicit tapes, usually that was to ruin careers. You know, if you had a tape, they could like fire you off. I remember Pamela Anderson, you know, who was the biggest thing in the 90s. You know, she was on Baywatch, you know, she was on like Playboy, all of that. She had her tape and she got like basically they fired her from the show.
Now it's accepting to do these stuff.
How things have changed, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because I've made videos on the Kardashians, you know, I'll put the links in the description. Like, it's funny, I'll give my things like with them, like I was more angered when Kanye West affiliated with them, you know, because I was a fan. I was still am. I still basically am a fan. When he came in and I saw him acting crazy, I was like, yeah, this family is no good. You know, and it's like I felt they were such like they were fame. They were so desperate for fame.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what are your thoughts on like, you know, the Kardashians, you know? Honest thoughts.
My honest thoughts about the Kardashians. I just keep on going with my day.
That's it.
That's
Take
it.
Seriously,
That's,
you know.
That's it.
You know.
It's like I feel like Kanye, because he made that song "Gold Digger," right?
Yeah.
I feel like
Jamie Foxx.
I feel like he kind of contradicted himself.
Big time. He's the biggest walking contradiction of all time. 100%. You know.
It's like now I can't take you seriously, Kanye. Like I'll love your early work, like don't get me wrong, but
you know what I mean.
And I can't vouch for you anymore.
And you know, because speaking of like Kanye, and we mentioned Ray J, you know, Reggie Bush is there. Lamar Odom. You know, these don't all have something in
Oh,
common. I wonder what it is. You know, but like I feel like with them, I don't know if it was them necessarily, but it wasn't around 2010s. Like it became this whole thing of like um Caucasian women now trying to have like black women features. You know, they call it like blackfish, but like it's like there was a change now. You start to see like more like white women like the Kardashians with black guys. You know, where like, you know, as we talk like in the 90s, you know, and even in the
right.
2000s, it was like shunned upon. Do you know what I mean?
Now everything is just like I said. Everything's accepted now.
Everything's accepted. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just
Even when you said that, I feel like women in general, like in the '90s, 2000s, they're like more natural.
yeah.
They're, yeah, they're more natural, and like, and people that's watching this video, I'm not trying to body shame. All right,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying they were more natural.
Yeah. I mean, you went from, if you look at it, like, so 90s, definitely like Halle Berry would be
Yeah.
possibly on the top, would you say? Like 90s Halle Berry,
Hmm.
then like, you know, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, 2000. And if you look at them, they're natural. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Majority of them, I mean, it's like they put makeup in that, but majority are natural. But then it went on to this era where Kardashians pretty much dominate, where it's like how much did their body cost? You know, they comes
First,
with
perfect
receipt.
example. Perfect example. Look at Lil Kim.
Oh man, you had to
Perfect
mention you
example.
had to mention Little Kim. It's a sad story, man. Like,
Yeah.
damn, she had nothing wrong with her, you know.
Right.
But you know, it's the pressure, you know, like the pressure
Yeah.
to
It's
be
pressure of
of
Hollywood. Yeah. To
Hollywood, you know, to be
have this
that it,
status. Yeah.
yeah,
To be that it
you
factor.
know. So they
And
see,
it's
yeah,
sad. It's sad.
it's sad, but it's the way the game is, you know. They see,
Right.
you know, because like that has influenced so much, especially now with because the Kardashians are so dominant on social media. You know,
Hmm.
you will see girls like that, you know, who are
Yeah.
aspiring now. They will go to extreme lengths, you know, to get noticed now, you know, and you know, it's like a lot of. I had a friend, you know, who I was telling her not to do any work. You don't need it,
Right.
and she went and did it anyway, you know, and the money she spent, and it's like,
I don't understand it.
it's crazy, man. Let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, with all the eras altogether. So we run through down, you know, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. You know, it talks about the stars, the music, the culture, the
Hey,
fashion. Yeah.
what about
But
video games?
video games, right? This is a good one. This is a good one.
Video
We have this.
games.
Oh, what's your take?
Like, or what's your take on video games like '90s,
Wow.
two
All
thousand?
right. So like it's funny because I'm with my boy now. We used to play like a lot of the similar video games in 2000.
Like, bro, like,
It's funny like because the first one I got was I had Super Nintendo, and this is how old I am. I had Super Nintendo and Sega Mega Drive at
yeah.
the same time. So I had Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario, you know, at the same time. And then like it just kept changing. Like, you know, from then it went to PlayStations,
Hmm.
and then PlayStation 2s, then Xbox came in, and then PlayStation 3 and 4, you know, and like now it's like in this age I don't game as much, you know, because of work,
Yeah,
you know,
same.
doing thing. I don't have
Right.
there was a time I would definitely say like I'd say 2000s. I was a PS2 was my
Yes.
Bible. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not, you know, I don't even go church anymore, but it was my Bible. I'm telling you, like my friends, you know,
It's a
we used to come back on Saturdays, like after
yeah.
being in the park, and we had like the multi-tap. So, you know, you had to
Hmm.
put the controllers, and we used to just play like, you know, these mad like multiplayer games like Burnout, I think it was Call of Duty. No, it may not be Call of Duty. The fighting games, Tekken,
Yeah.
Street Fighter, Winner Stays On, so but it was definitely
Oh
the 2000s.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You lose,
You
your ass
lose.
is off that
Yes.
controller. Like, yeah. Like pass a controller.
Yeah. We used to be hours,
That's how
like
it was.
we used to come back and like till the night, 3, 4 a.m. We were just like playing like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. On Nintendo, we were playing like Super Smash Brothers, Metroid, racing games. But it was most dominant for me in the
Yeah.
2000s. But for you, how was it for you, GQ?
So kids, I feel like kids these days don't know the struggle of trying to get this game to work. Yo,
Oh man.
nah, for me, like seriously, for me, video games. I don't play as much video games
Yeah.
as adult, but growing up, my sister, she had the Super Nintendo.
Hmm.
Me, I had the Sega, so I had to represent for Sega.
Sega.
So I had Sonic the Hedgehog. To me, that has like the best like background music
Oh man.
soundtrack.
Yeah, for the time.
Yeah,
Streets
I
of
had
Rage. You
Sonic.
remember Streets of Rage?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
legendary. Who?
yeah. Rampage.
Rampage. Who?
Yeah, I had Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2
Yeah,
and 3. I
right.
had Mortal Kombat. I had the Pac-Man
Ah,
game.
forget Mortal Kombat.
Um, I had some random games. I had this Tiny Toons game. I
Right.
had this Aladdin game. I remember my cousin. He had the X-Men game for
Oh, right.
Sega.
Right. Yeah, because that's
Uh,
such a hit.
what else? Yeah. That was my first ever console.
Yeah.
Then I had the Nintendo 64. I remember getting the Donkey Kong edition.
Donkey Kong.
64.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember N64. I never had N64, but it's like I was going to like my cousins to play,
Hmm.
and man, there was a few games that I used to spend like days on, like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, the wrestling games. Like they were so good on the console, and what was it? Banjo and Kazooie. I don't know,
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of my favorites. Oh my
And
god.
I had the Pokemon Stadium. I had Pokemon
Yes.
Snap.
And you know what was cool, GQ? Sorry to interrupt. In Pokemon
Oh
Stadium,
no,
like
you good.
you could big thing. I cannot believe I even forgot about Pokemon. We talked about Pokemon before, how big
Yeah.
the phenomenon was. But remember the game, like you could have the Pokemon on your Game Boy and you could
Yeah.
connect it to Pokemon Stadium on
Oh
the
yes.
N64. You
Yes.
remember? Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a thing I used to do. Well, I still do it now because I have the game. I used to get all the starters, trade all my Pokemon on my other I had Pokemon Red and Blue. I used to trade it from all my Pokemon on Pokemon Stadium so I
Right.
could have the starters. So I had all the starters on one game.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, Pokemon Stadium is
Yeah.
my top 5 favorite games.
Exactly.
Then what else games did I have? But yeah, but then I had the PS2, of course, one of my favorite consoles of all time.
San Andreas. We gotta give a shout to
San Andreas.
GTA. San Andreas.
I remember my cousin had Grand Theft Auto 3 in Vice City.
Yeah.
Um, my first games was Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Oh snap! You had
I spent
Budokai.
hours playing that game.
Ay,
Yeah,
ay, ay. The Budokai. This is how bad it was, bro. I gotta say, I had Budokai on
yeah,
PS2, but I was so cheap. I didn't have a memory card. You
bro.
know,
I didn't have
you
like
never
the
went to.
first couple months. For the first couple months, I
Yeah,
didn't have a memory card,
memory card
so
used
I
to.
left that PS2
Yeah,
on.
on.
Yeah, I left it on.
Bro, the memory card, like the PS2 cost enough. Then the memory card
Right.
was an additional 30, $40.
Yeah,
In the UK it was pounds, £30. So I didn't have enough. So Budokai, I had SmackDown Just Bring It.
yeah.
I had Jack and Daxter. we used to just play and just keep it on. Then we would turn it off
What was that?
eventually.
What was that one game? Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, yes. I
Yeah,
had all of them. Time
the Simpsons
Splitters.
Hit and Run.
I had Time Splitters. That was a big. It was only for PS2. It was a game we used to. Me and my friends. We used to always play Time Splitters. You know, it's a
Yeah,
crazy.
NBA Street Volume 1 and 2.
Yes.
Uh,
Remember Def Jam Fight for Def Jam
Fight for New York.
New York.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
all the Def Jam artists on one
Oh,
game.
one game.
Then
Jeez.
before 2K, there was NBA Live.
NBA Live. Yeah,
NBA
yeah.
Live was trash.
Oh my God. We used to, this is how things changed, man. Like, you know, before they used to have demos, you know, so you get a disc.
Yes.
Yeah, so they would have like NBA, they would have FIFA, they would have Jack and Dexter, they would have Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah.
Resident Evil. So there was a time, like I said, you didn't have to necessarily have to buy all the games. You know, you could have a
Right.
demo which had like at least like, let's say maybe 40% of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I used to collect those demos as cheap as I am, you know, as before. It's before I was the rich man.
Hey, you had to do what you had to do, man.
Hey,
You had to do what you had to do.
you know what I mean?
Then I had the Game Boy Colors, the Game Boy
Yes.
Pockets, the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, definitely. I think for sure we've got to do one video just on gaming. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
definitely 100%, you know, especially in the story. But like with that being said, like come to the end with like all of that, because now we just put the video game in. If you had to say like if in order from like one to 3 to 1, 2010s, 2000s, and 90s, what was the era that was most, I wouldn't say impactful, but like yeah, like overall the best favorite era for you?
So we count down from 3, 2, 1, like one being the
Yes,
best.
one
Okay.
being the best, yeah.
Oh
In the
man.
list. And this is all GQ. So we're talking the if social media in 2010 to
Oh
using
man.
using the landline phones in the pay phones in the 90s.
Oh
Call
man, this is
collect.
hard.
Call collect.
This is hard.
If you had to choose an era to
Number
be in
3.
now, right?
Number 3, I will put shoot.
It's difficult, isn't it?
As much as I love 2000s,
Yeah. Hmm.
I won't put the 2000s in number 3
Cool. We got to pass.
because yeah. Number 2, I'm going to put the 2010s
Right?
for number 2 because you have everything.
Yes.
You can go to YouTube and just relive the 2000s music.
Exactly.
You can hear the 90s music, you can hear the 2000s music. You can go back and
Yeah.
watch classic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But number 1, hands down, 90s. I love the music. I love the shows. I love the cartoons. I love the fashion.
Yeah.
It was just a great time to be in. It just felt so peaceful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it felt fun. It was a fun time. So I will put 90s at number 1.
One. Right. Okay. So for my list, at number 3, even with the convenience, you know, like the convenience, because that's what the 2010s is. I'm gonna put 2010s at number 3. The 2010s, yeah. And the reason why is like, I kind of grew up from like a hard way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, you
I
know,
can
me
see
coming
that.
from UK and now I'm here, you know, Canada, America, Mexico,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it was a lot of like struggle. So I'm already used to like getting my hands dirty to get stuff. You get what
yeah.
that means? So like the
Mhm.
whole convenience era, even if social media was to get taken away, I'm still okay because I still remember the times of like, not having the internet. I still like you. I still have my DVDs, back at my
Yeah.
place. I still keep
Yeah.
my discs. I still keep my music downloaded on my phone. Rip. So I can survive if if internet goes away. You know what I'm saying? But the convenience definitely does help. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, definitely, I'd say 2010s number three. Number two would have to be 2000s.
Yeah. That was hard.
It's
That was
hard.
hard to
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's not easy because when you just drop the gaming, what I mean. Like I'm by no means I'm like any big gamer, but like damn it, like PS2, as I said, it was my
Yeah.
whoa. Yeah,
That was your baby,
oh, that
man.
was my baby,
Yeah.
man. Like honestly, I used to take care of it, clean it, like put the new
Yeah.
on it. I used to love it. So I spent most time in the 2000s on my consoles, like on the I had PS2, GameCube, and Xbox at one time. So like they were more big then. In the 90s, it was just at the time because I was a kid then. It was legit just
Yeah.
the thing was when I was playing gaming in the 90s, most of the time it didn't have too much longevity. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like you didn't have like a saved like memory
Yeah.
cards. You
Yeah.
understand? So you usually used to just play a game for
All,
a bit. You know,
all you had was 5 lives, three
that's
lives.
it.
That's
That's
it.
you know. But like when the 2000s came and you got like San Andreas, like the sandbox games, you know what I mean? You got like
Yeah.
these crazy like Resident Evil. I'm a big fan of like Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, the fighting games. It's like it was great. So 2000s at number two, and hands down without question, the 90s is the number one. Like without question. It as a complete, the fashion, the music,
Mm-hmm.
the movies. We didn't even talk too much about the movies, but like, come on, man,
Right.
New Jack City.
You can always make a part
You
two.
could always make one. You know what I mean? New Jack
Yeah.
City, man. You got like Juice, Boys in the
Juice.
Hood, Menace to Society,
Yes.
which we talked about,
Yes.
and we've got like a Speed, which is like a great film.
Yeah.
Great. The one and the bus and that, what was it?
You had your bad boys.
You had your Bad Boys, Will Smith, Martin.
Men in Black.
Men in Black, Independence Day. You know, it's just it's just too much things were going on the 90s that covered all forms of like
I,
everything.
I believe that was like the most groundbreaking era of all
Yes,
time.
all time. Yeah. Honestly, I will always watch like a show, as you talked about Wayne Brothers. I was watching that like a couple of days ago, and sometimes I could always picture myself like going back.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if there was like a DeLorean time machine, I would love to just go spend a week in the 90s.
Yeah, I always wish I wish my teen years I grew up in the 90s. I just want to like live that experience,
Yeah.
have
Oh
that
man.
experience. Like I want to live to like see I want to see Fresh Prince when it first aired, or I want to see
Yeah.
Wayne Brothers when it first aired,
First came
or
Living Color, when it first
yeah,
came out. I know, we were both born a decade late.
yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. But
And
like,
I always hear like, oh, you're still stuck in the 90s.
oh,
I'm like, okay, but yet y'all keep taking our stuff from the
this is
90s
what it
and
is.
recreating it. So
Yeah.
obviously that was our, that
That was our
era,
thing.
something
Yeah.
special. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get it all the time. My like crew, I would hang out before. They were only listening to the latest stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
was always listening to stuff from back in the day. And it's like I only really listen to something if it was really good now.
Right.
But they were
Right.
they were always similar. They're criticizing like, oh, you always listening from the past, the night. I'm like, you don't know like the influence the 90s has
Right.
had in
Like
this. Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Like don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I love stuff from this era. I love J. Cole's music. I
yeah.
love Kendrick Lamar's
Love
music.
Kendrick. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a few like things I love from this era, but nothing is beating the '90s era,
Yeah,
2000s era.
yeah.
Like I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Like
So,
on a bad day, I can still watch the Wayans brothers. Still make me like
straight up.
laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will always, I said this like even before I would go turn on my wife and kids, and I love my wife and
Hmm.
kids, I
Hmm.
would still watch like Wayans Brothers, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or Martin any
Yeah.
day, any day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That would always be the like the one last. It's just
Right.
because like I know what I'm getting. Especially when you talk about the sitcoms, like the sitcoms were always good throughout. If they had one season, it would probably just to the end. But if you
Hmm.
talk like with some of the sitcoms in 2000s, My Wife and Kids,
Hmm.
good example. By like the
Bernie
third
Mac show.
season, by like the third season, it's just like, you know what I
Oh, the
mean?
My Wife and Kids.
I felt like when for me, I was never a fan of Franklin. It
Oh
was,
yeah, I could see
yeah,
that.
you know what I mean.
I could see
I
that.
felt it just went a bit too Disney.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like My Wife and Kids never had a bad season,
Yeah,
but you can tell by the last season that something didn't feel right.
yeah, and
But
like
I can see
I
where you're
can see,
coming from.
yeah. For me, it was just like, yeah, when Kelvin and then Franklin, like at the time, it was just like the
Yeah,
main, like
the
Damon, and
main.
just focus on the
Yeah,
family. Then the side characters, like I love Tony. Don't get me wrong, but like they were all coming more into like the family, so the family got expanded. You know what I'm saying?
it's kind of like they had that Family Matters effect.
Yes,
Yeah,
just
I see where you're
keep on
coming
wanting to
from.
grow it. But
And
like,
another thing I want to touch, like, and I do give like shows, music a chance from this era, like Blackish. I feel like that's a good show of this
yeah,
era because it has values and it's actually trying to like send a message.
yeah.
I feel like some of these shows today, I just don't get anything out of it.
Yeah. Some of them are kind of, they have this like category that was called woke comedy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's like they're touching on the stuff that we talk about getting canceled, but they
yeah,
kind of subtle, it's like subtle tension. They put it into their shows, So
yeah.
if you watch like majority of the shows you watch on Netflix now, like I was watching one on Netflix called You. Like a lot of them, it's very woke. So they play it safe, do you know what I mean, to appeal to this new era.
Right.
So like I agree. Like Blackish, I enjoy it, man. Like I think a big one, and this was funny. I was like the same age as Chris at this time when I was watching. Like Everybody Hates Chris. I could relate
Yeah.
to that show a lot, man. I
Yeah. Yeah.
change Chris to Rich. Everybody Hates Rich.
Everybody hates me.
Yeah, I could so relate to that show, man. The episode when he got stood up when he had a date with that girl?
Yes.
That happened
That
to
season
me.
two episode. Yeah.
That happened
Oh, that
to
happened.
me.
Yeah, I got stuck. I got stood up a few times too.
Oh
Like,
man.
man, this episode hits home. Or the episode when he tries to be a bad boy.
Yeah.
That was the best episode
Yeah.
ever.
He wasn't paying those girls attention. But yeah, Everybody Hates Chris is man, that's a phenomenal show. I
Yes.
really from one to season four. Season one to season four. The characters, Julius. Oh man,
Yeah.
gonna have to do a review on Everybody Hates Chris. May do one for
Yeah.
sure, man. I would love to watch that again. But yes, man. We've come down to our top three. Yeah, as we said, like GQ Jamal's top three was 2000s at number three,
It's
2010.
hard.
It's not.
I'm about to switch it up because
Yeah,
hey, there was a lot of good times in the 2000s. So,
yeah,
all right, final answer, guys. As much as I love the
yeah.
convenience of 2010s,
2010s. Yeah,
I would have to put it at number three.
that's
All
I
because you guys like to cancel people for no
yeah.
reason.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'll have to put it number three.
Yeah.
2000s number two. In 90s at number one.
Yeah.
Final answer, locking it down.
Lock it down.
Come
Boom.
for me.
I would say come now. You know, I'll give you
Come
my
for me.
just come right now. I'm waiting, man. But yeah, I
Come
feel
on.
like with especially as you said, like 2010s is just more of the convenience, without a
Yeah.
doubt, you know, like the substance, like I don't
Mhm.
think in 20, 30 years they're gonna really remember too many things from the
No.
2010s, you know what I mean,
No.
opposed to the 2000s, you know, and the, you know, in the 90s, you know, the thing with the 2000s and the 90s was the 90s just had so much things going on from every
Oh yeah.
angle, you know,
Oh
from
yeah.
every angle, man. You know what I mean? Every angle, you know, and like, you know, the 2000s, 2000s like carried it on, but just wasn't as, you know, big, you know
Like
what I mean? You know what I
like
mean?
you remember your first time you got an iPod Nano, man?
Yeah.
iPod Touch.
I had the iPod
Them things used to
Classic.
cost three hundred
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
iPod Touch was just a iPhone without service.
I used to cherish that. When I got that iPod, I was like, yo, then
Got
it's
that for a
like,
graduation. I'm
yeah,
like, man,
yeah,
I
yeah,
felt like I was
yeah,
the best person in the world.
yeah. the, the MP3 players and that, you know, the
Dude,
Walkman, the CDs, the cassette. I had the cassette players. You know,
yeah, I had that too, man.
yeah, makes you bad. But as I said, some of these like they don't know the convenience of
No.
what they have now, man. Like they basically have all of that now in their phone. It's
Do you
nuts.
know the joy of just go out to the store on Tuesday and buy a CD that was
Yes. Oh
$20
my God.
just because of that one song?
Yeah. I'm telling you, I did, you know, going into like the video, there used to be a store before it went out of business in Europe. It was called like HMV, you know, and
Hmm.
it dealt with like music videos and DVDs, you know. So it was that and Blockbuster, you know, used to spend
Oh,
most of my time.
Blockbuster.
Oh man, you know, big thing going in there and getting like, you know, just
Oh, that DVD,
DVDs.
that
Yeah,
VHS.
yeah,
I got yeah VHS. Yeah, those are the things. The
yes,
VCRs.
exactly.
But going on Friday nights, go to Blockbuster
I
or Hollywood
know
Video.
videos.
Yeah, like such and such is coming into video on Fridays. I'm like,
Oh
yo, we gotta
man,
go.
we're
We gotta
gonna
go
go and
get
get
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
nostalgia. There's like incredible nostalgia with the 90s,
Hmm.
you know, more than any other era. You know what I mean? I just feel like that, man. Like it was just a great time, man, you know,
Oh
to be
yeah.
around, man.
You just had to
Honestly.
be there, guys. You
Yeah,
just
to
had to
be
be
there.
there.
Just had to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
100%. But yes, folks, man, we are gonna bring that to a close today. You know, you heard our thoughts of what we thought about the three eras, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010. Now it's time to let us know about what you think about this era. You know where to put
Drop
it.
them comments,
Put it
man.
in the
Let us know
comments.
what you
Yes.
think.
Exactly. You know what I mean? As I said, it's very subjective. You know what I mean? It's just
Hmm.
like how we, you know, see it. You know what I mean? Because our content
Right.
is very similar. You know, we both were born like pretty much in the same year. And you know,
Right.
so like we have that similar taste. But yeah, you know, it could be different for you. But yeah, put it in the comment section, you know. As I said, be sure to, you know, if you do dig this video, like, comment, you know, do a favor, subscribe, you know, trying to blow up in here, you know, and definitely check out
Right.
GQ. Check out if you do decide that the 90s was your favorite era and even the 2000s, definitely have to check out GQ Jamaal's channel. You know,
Yes,
he's
sir.
doing reviews on the TV shows, the movies, he's reacting to music, you know, so the music live performance that were on like, you know, your MTV Raps or Senior Hall Show.
Yo.
Def,
So
you know.
my recent crisscross video got blocked by Sony. Y'all some
Oh
haters. I'm
my
sorry. Don't
God.
come at me. Yeah. So if y'all tried to ask me to do these music reviews,
Yes.
don't even bother
It is.
because I'm not trying to get hit with that copyright.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but anything else, yeah, hit us up. Yo,
Yes.
go check out my boy RichManZ's YouTube page. Go check out his content. The brother travels.
Yeah.
He has dope content, like I said before. Not just saying it because I'm on here.
Oh,
I'm being
shucks.
serious. Nah, but he has really dope content. He does reviews too. They're both the same. Appreciate this man. So go give that brother a subscribe to his channel.
Couldn't have said it any better, man. So thanks again. And yes, man, stay tuned for upcoming videos such as discussions with GQ, because now he's on the Rich team. He's on the army now. So
Yes,
we're gonna
sir.
we've got
It's
the
drafted, man.
exactly. We've
Dream
got
team.
with the
Dream
screen
team.
dream team. That's it.
Dream team.
Exactly. OJ Simpson's not the only one who's got his own dream team, so we've got like we've got like a vast amount of topics that we're gonna discuss about, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yes, sir.
so that's gonna be, so get regular used to this and that. But yes, stay tuned for more videos like this. Will be coming very, very soon. And from RichManZ, and
GQ Jamaal.
it is peace to fingers.